are listening to BL in the Air. My name is Chy,
And I'm Alex.
and this week we are going to continue our discussion from last week, where we started talking about the first half of the show, Not Me. So we're going to pick up from there. We're going to continue, finish the show. But before we get into it, Alex, what's in the air with you this week?
Okay, I had a pivot from watching BL.
Mm-hmm.
I I watched a BL and I hated it. I'm not gonna name it
Okay.
because of how much I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, I feel bad.
Okay. What
Maybe maybe
what did you
maybe I
not
will.
like about it?
Okay, fine, I'll name it. But I wasn't going to.
Okay.
But I don't even remember the name of it now. It's one I've talked about on here already that I was watching, and I think I didn't hate it at the time. But The Love Never Sets. It's the one with
Okay.
Tay who was B um
Mm.
in Between Us.
Between us,
Um,
yeah. What
Hated
what
it.
ha- does something like does it take a turn or
I
like
just
what
everybody
did
in
you
that
hate about
show
it?
has failed that kid. The Tay's
Oh.
character,
Uh-huh.
like kid is traumatized, right? And they don't address that at all. Like
Okay. They just kind of like move on.
so they don't even move on. They just do things that would have made it worse and just roll with it. Because like the whole core of everything on the show is basically like he had a teacher that like essayed him, right? And then
Mhm.
filmed it and used that to blackmail him. And then did
Mhm.
eventually like leak some other videos and whatever and ruin this kid's life. He had to take a year off from school and then he comes back and tries to restart and there's like a whole lot of like drama behind that, right? And that's how things start on that end. Um and so with that, he has like problems like kissing his boyfriend and being like physically affectionate with his boyfriend that he has at the time. And
Mhm.
that boyfriend the entire time is like super pushy about it. Um and like not happy that they're not being affectionate and like is like trying to guilt trip him on that and like not understanding anything at all even though he knows everything that's happened, like it's all public, right?
Okay.
And so you
Is
have
this like
that.
a current boyfriend or like the one
it,
he's ends
it's the
up
one
with?
no, it's the one he starts with, not the
Okay.
one he ends up with, right?
Okay.
And there's other
That's
stuff.
good.
Yeah, well,
Oh no.
on like episode 11 of 12, Jaws character Saint, um, he's also being really pushy about like sex.
Mm.
And Tay's character Ice is like no and literally gets up and walks away, right? Is like I'm removing myself from this. And Saint like
Mhm.
follows behind him and like holds his arms around him and starts feeling him up until he like gives in. And I'm just sitting here going,
Oh.
"No, you can't do that."
No. Why?
Right? I was just and there's like a lot of like things like that. Like it'd be like little things where I'm like he has trauma. Like we've established he has trauma.
Yeah, the answer is not to traumatize him more.
Right? Like it's he needs therapy, not you
Yeah.
pushing him when he says no. Um
Yeah. Damn. Yeah,
so
that I would be so pissed if I watched
I
like a
was the
whole
entire
show and
time.
in the second to last episode they're like, "Eh, here you
Yes.
go."
There's that and then don't watch the show. Okay, first off, don't watch
Okay.
the show.
I
Spoilers for
won't.
anyone who's still watching it because it did just end like last week. Um though, so spoilers for the ending though. The the ex-boyfriend, right? The one that was really pushy in the beginning.
Mhm.
Um he literally has to go to like community service, like legal things happen to him because he does bad things, right?
Mhm.
um because like he steals songs from Ice and then I forget, I don't even remember exactly what he does that causes him to like go to jail basically, and then he's like working at like a prison run cafe or something like that as like his
Okay.
community service thing. It's weird, I don't understand what's happening there. But in the end, Ice and Saint start like their own like music entertainment company or whatever. And they go to him while he's working, then they're like, when you're done with this, you can come, we'll sign you to our company. They're like, second chances. And I'm like, okay, like, yes, give him a second chance, but maybe not in this way. Like, maybe have a contact in the industry and be like,
Mhm.
go over there and start over. Like, we'll vouch for you. But, like, what?
Yeah. That's kind of like that reminds me of like when we talked about top form not too long ago. And like,
Yeah.
not to spoil that if you haven't seen it, but there is a character who is like egregiously sexually assaults another character and tries to roofie another character, and then we're just like chill with him at the end, and I'm like,
Right?
what? Excuse me.
Yeah. It's Ice just like forgives everybody, and I'm like, absolutely not. Like you can forgive, but you don't have to welcome him back into your life.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
like, yeah, that's crazy. I'll be skipping that show, thank you.
Yeah, so that one set me off. And like liked it in the beginning, even with some of the stuff of me going, I don't know about that. I liked it in the beginning, and it has
Yeah.
like, because like the GL couple, because there's a GL couple in there, and they
Mhm.
in the beginning super cool, loved them. I was like, okay, they're actually more interesting than the guys, and then by the end they
Mhm.
fizzle too. Like they end up together, but
Oh.
it's so boring. Um,
Yeah. That's too bad.
yeah, and there's like a movie within a movie because like how a lot of them end up to like together and like the same thing is the GL couple. One of them, she's like a director of a movie, like a college production, whatever, and the
Mm.
other one is a nepo baby who is funding this movie,
Okay,
like
I see.
right. So that's she comes in, but she also like nepo baby that acts and stuff like that. So she has acting experience. So she comes in to do um uh like the training and stuff like that and the like the pre-filming stuff to like make the two leads bond and whatever. I can't think of the words for it. Um
Workshop.
yes, she does all the
Mhm.
workshop stuff because there's also like this dumb bitch. I'm sorry. She goes in is like we're going to start with the intimacy, one of the more intimate scenes and like take this traumatized man and make him deal with one of the guys that has traumatized him,
Oh no.
right? And they're like wrestling and whatever to the point where like he literally has a meltdown and like leaves,
Ugh.
right? And it's like
Can
okay,
we get an
we
intimacy coordinator in
right.
here?
So that's where the girl comes in and she's like, let me help.
Mhm.
Right. So they have all that. So the movie within a movie is really cool too until the ending of that and everybody's dead. Um everybody
What?
commits suicide. Like literally everybody. The whole cast commits suicide.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know. I was watching it and I was like, what?
What?
So yeah, so that
Okay.
watching that upset me so much. And then while I was doing that,
Mhm.
like while I was at work, I was listening to an audiobook of like a BL audiobook.
Mhm.
And I hated that one so much too. So by the time I finished like both of them on like the same day, and I just kind of sat there and I was like, I need to pivot.
Yeah.
So I've been watching an esports Chinese drama instead.
Oh, the which one was it?
It's with Yang Yang, and it's not even like
Oh
heavy on the
yeah.
esports because he has three that are like esports related. So he has, um, like King's Avatar, which was my first one from him, even though that
Mhm.
wasn't his first one. I think that was his second one. And I really like that one. And then Love O2O is probably I would say the bigger one. Um, and I had watched those a while ago, and love him so much. And then I was looking through his MDL, and he did another one called "You Are My Glory," which isn't
Mm.
entire like I'd say half of it is gaming, and I bet we don't really cover gaming too much now that I've moved past that. But I've been binging that, and it's been like okay, refresher away from bad media.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me try again.
Yeah, you just gotta take a break sometimes.
Yeah, because this love never sets just made me so mad.
Yeah. That's understandable.
And like I honestly I hope the ship stays together. Like I like John and Tay together. Like
Mhm.
their chemistry's good, and I think their
Mhm.
acting's good for what they were given. I just think the
Yeah.
plot was stupid.
Yeah, there's only like so much you can do with the source material you get, so I
Mm-hmm.
get it.
Yeah, it's okay. I did watch today's episode of Burnout Syndrome, and it made me happy.
Mm.
And
Yeah, I need to catch up.
there's only one episode of Me and T left, and that makes me very sad because it's
Uh,
so good.
I know. I need to watch that one too. I'm like, yeah,
It's so good.
very behind.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's having a break. I think is what I needed to reset, so I can go back and find some good BLs. If anyone has a esports BL to recommend, though, can you leave it in the
Mm.
comments somewhere? Like,
Yeah,
please.
I really just I don't think there are
I
like
don't either.
any. Like I remember that one that was announced, but I think it's like phone games. So I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah. So the one I'm watching right now, You Are My Glory, it's a mobile game too, but it's like mobile
Okay.
League of Legends basically.
Okay.
So it's been a lot of it's one of those it's everything's set up like League of Legends. They're just on their phones and stuff.
Mhm.
And so it's been fun. Um but yeah. But what's in the air with you?
Well, nothing BL related. I haven't been watching any shows,
Mhm.
but I've been reading. So I started reading Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, which is like
Hmm.
the Hunger Games prequel, the one about President Snow, and it's really good so far.
Yeah. I
Honestly, maybe President Snow is gay. I kind of get those vibes, so we'll see, I guess. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's like the only form of media I'm like consuming right now. So that's like all I got.
Yeah. Is that the one they made the movie out of?
Yeah, they did make a
Yeah.
movie too. Yeah,
So,
which I haven't seen yet either. So I literally like don't know what happens like other than
yeah.
what happens in the Hunger Games because those are some of my favorite books.
Mhm.
And I adore Susan Collins, and even more than that, my favorite book series of all time is The Underland Chronicles, which is the only other books she's ever written.
Oh, I didn't know
So
she's written anything else.
yeah, she wrote it. It was written before The Hunger Games, and it's
Uh,
like a middle grade, like I don't even know. It's like kind of fantasy,
mhm.
but yeah, it's like speculative fiction basically. But it
Cool.
is so fucking fantastic, and it is like my favorite book series of all time. And I think The Hunger Games are just so phenomenal and so
Mhm.
poignant and nuanced. And I'm like, and yeah, and so I was like, why the hell have I never like haven't I've been meaning to pick up this book since it came out, and then The Sunrise on the Reaping came out, and I
Mhm.
was like, damn, I really need to like read these before another one comes out. So yeah, so I'm finally
Yeah.
doing that, and it slays so far. I'm
Nice.
really really enjoying it.
Yeah, I think I bought that one when you're reading, but I haven't
Mhm.
read it either. I went through a
Yeah.
phase where I just didn't read anything, and now
Yeah.
I'm so deep into the audiobook world.
Yeah, I still am listening to my audiobook. What is it called? It's like the Night Runner series or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not what it's called, but yeah, it is the Night Runner series. But yeah, I listen to that in the car when I'm driving, and then when I'm at work, I just read my book because it's winter, so no one wants to come in.
Yeah,
So
I've actually done pretty good. I think I've read like 5 books this year so far.
yeah,
So
my goal this year is 40.
nice.
So we'll see. But yeah, I think I read 4 books this year so far.
Yeah. One of the ones I read was a little shorter than others. I read Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green.
Oh yeah, I read that too.
So
I read
I def-
that like 2 weeks ago.
Oh really?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. It was fun with the audiobook because he did the narration for the audiobook.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Yeah.
just like listening to John lecture for a while. Um
Yep. Yeah, I read it. I like picked it up from the library, but I really liked it.
yeah, I think I have a signed copy, but I hadn't gotten around to reading it, and then I saw the audiobook on on my app and on Libby, and I was like, well, I might as well just have him read it.
Yeah.
um But yeah, it was a good one. It's really interesting to see how big of an impact tuberculosis still has today.
Yeah, I literally like I didn't know about that at all. Now I
Yeah.
know so much. Now I know
Hmm.
when I was listening to my Night Runner series book and he was like, "My dad died of the wasting sickness." I was like, "That's tuberculosis."
Yep. Yeah.
So, very
That
informative. I definitely prefer John Green's nonfiction as opposed to his fiction because I did read
really.
Will Grayson, and it was to this day the worst book I've ever read.
So I haven't read that one, but his other ones, so The Fault in Our Stars, destroyed
Yeah,
me.
I read Will Grayson, and it was so bad. I was like, I'm never gonna read another John Green book.
Oh, so I read The Fault in Our Stars right while they were filming the movie. And then I went to VidCon and I finished the book while I was on the plane to VidCon, which is terrible because I sobbed on the
Yeah.
plane. And then I got to stand next to John Green because that was when he and Hank still ran VidCon back in the day. And
Throwback.
then and then I moved to North Carolina from my hometown, and I had been in North Carolina for 3 days, and I drove into Asheville to go watch the movie that had just come out. And I sobbed so hard I sat in my car and I had to call my mom to calm me down so I could drive home because I had like an hour drive to get to the middle of nowhere where I was living. And then I
Uh
got my first speeding ticket ever because I was sobbing on the drive back in the mountains,
huh.
not paying attention to how fast I was
Oh
going.
no.
So I had stopped and gotten steak and shake for dinner, and so I had like a milkshake and my fries in like the passenger seat. And I'm sobbing hysterically over this movie, not even over getting pulled over. And the cop comes up to me, and like I have my out of state plates and whatever, and he goes, do you know what you're doing? I'm just sobbing. And I'm like, I'm
Uh,
sorry.
I'm going
I just,
through it right now. I'm having a moment.
and I was like, I just moved here 2 days ago.
Mhm.
And like it's the mountains, so the speed limits are lower than what I was used to, which is where I was on autopilot for Mississippi speeds and not for North Carolina mountain speeds. Um, so I was going like a good like he cut me a break because I think I was going like 15, 20 over, which is too fast. And he
Mhm.
set it at 14 over because I think 15 becomes like a more extreme thing. So he gave me like the
Mhm.
max, right? And then he's like,
Yeah.
"You're going to get points. Do you know what that is?" And I had no idea what points were at the time.
Oh.
And I was, "Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I know what that is."
Oh no.
And he writes the ticket for me because he was state trooper. Of course he was, right? And then I
Yeah.
drive the rest of the way home and I just sit in my car. I was staying at like an Airbnb. I didn't even have a place to stay yet. It wasn't even an Airbnb. It was a real B&B. So I was like a room in a house with a bunch of other people.
Mhm.
And I call my mom and I'm like, I just got a ticket. And my mom was like, what? It's a very
It
dramatic day
happens
for
to the
me.
best of us,
It
honestly.
it does, but it's John Green's fault that I got my first speeding ticket.
You know what?
But
I'll blame him for that too.
yeah, it's 100% his fault. If he didn't write Fault in Our
Oh,
Stars, I wouldn't have been speeding that day.
exactly. So we're gonna resume where we left off today
Hmm.
with episode 8. Um, the last kind of thing we covered was where I have to remember the stupid character names now. First character whose name is no one
uh,
remembers. What is it?
Yoke.
Yoke. Okay. Yoke finally kind of met up with Unar for the first time, who like pretended to arrest him at school and then took him to his like secret abandoned studio. So that we're gonna kind of pick up with them, and then also this is kind of the episode where like both the relationships like
Develop.
come together.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the relationship episode, so
Hmm.
I like this one. So we start off with Sean and White drinking together in like White's room, which is Black's room.
Yep.
I remember.
Yeah. I was like, when were they in White's room?
I know. In White
Yeah.
Black
Yes.
White's room. And I just love how they always like tease each other. Like White is like, "Don't sit on my bed with your dirty clothes," and he has him sit on the floor, but then he like kind of sits with him and like leans
Hmm.
over him and stuff. But um, and Sean like kind of compliments White on his changes. He's kind of like, "You've changed a lot recently. I really like this new you. Like good job with the personal development." Which
I
is
don't know.
like also when I start to think like, okay, does Sean know? Like, does he have these suspicions that it's a different person too? Because he has been, out of everyone, the most suspicious about these
Yeah.
changes, and he's the one constantly talking about it.
Yeah. I think he's definitely more leaning towards there's something going on, like a twin or something. Um,
So
cause
I think it's a red herring.
Yeah.
I think they want you to think, and especially there's something that happens later on, I think next episode, where they want you like wonder if Sean knows or not, but he doesn't know. He has no
Yeah.
idea, which we
No.
do learn later. But
Yeah.
I
There's
what I
only one person that figured it out.
yeah. What I think is happening is that he's like realizing he has feelings for Black, and he's
Mhm.
like he's like so suspicious about it.
Yeah.
Like, not just because Black is acting completely different, but also because how he feels towards Black is completely different. That
Mhm.
he is so stuck on this, and it's not because he knows the twin thing is up. They just want us to think that. But he really just like is having a hard time like accepting the new feelings.
It makes me wonder, and it's one of those things that we don't get any insight on, but I always wonder if Sean had at least some sort of feelings for Black, like very repressed and not
Mm,
like, right, like one of those you're such enemies that you have feelings for each other type of a trope, you know?
okay.
Because it's pretty quick that he does like a 180 from that, which I mean, it is basically an entirely different person. But even like early on when they're like fighting, but then they have like these moments where it's like, okay, these moments make a little less sense when you think about it that that's Black, like he thinks that's Black, his like mortal enemy.
I think I personally I feel like Sean did not have feelings for Black.
Mhm.
I think he is just very empathetic. And so
Mhm.
when it Black disappears and comes back and he's clearly like traumatized and he's acting like I think Sean's just like genuinely like really worried for him, which
That's
is
fair.
why he's like
Yeah.
acts caring and concerned. But I don't think he had feelings for Black. But again, the only like really flashback we get of them together is the one where Black's just like abandoning him on
Yeah.
their first outing. So
Mhm.
maybe it's possible. I guess we don't
Yeah.
really get that insight, but that would be cool to find out.
Yeah, it's one of those where I wouldn't think it's any kind of surface level. It's almost like even Sean isn't really aware that his feelings are in that way because he's also just continuously pissed off at Black,
Mhm.
right? So that's it's one of those because I'm like, is there because there like there's just moments where like the way he looks at White where I'm like, you think that's Black though?
Yeah.
Like if you remember to factor that in, it's like,
Yeah,
but
I really I feel like he just like genuinely like was concerned about this change, and then as he got to know Black, he
yeah,
was like, "Oh, I really like him." Like I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like the development makes sense for me. I
I
do
mean,
think like maybe the first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh, it came on kind of quick." But when I rewatched it, I was like, "No, like it was kind of like a little bit slow burn until like this episode here."
yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel rushed, but it's definitely one of those where I'm like, sometimes I'm like, what's that look doing?
Hmm.
But it's never anything like it. One of those where like one or the other, like it doesn't like change the story for me any. But
Mhm. But yeah, they basically so like they're drinking on the floor. It's very intimate. They're very like close and touchy with each other. And it's one of those situations where I think they both kind of know what they mean to each other by now.
mm-hmm.
Like there's not really questions about it.
Yeah,
And White asks like what did Tawi do to you? Like why do you have such personal stakes in this? Um and Sean tells about like his dad and kind of the story that we learned earlier with him where he was killed by a cop because he was smuggling drugs for Tawi, and then they just pinned all the drugs on him and never looked into like who he was working for.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, so he shares that, which is like it's really emotionally deep, which is like it's an important like connection for them because Sean really struggles, I think, to like emotionally connect with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this scene. And then we have Yoke, who's drawing Dan, but he's drawing him naked. But this is also like another emotionally connecting scene where like it's naked, but it's like vulnerable and not sexual, and so like Dan is crying as he's being like drawn, but it's
Yeah,
it's because he's being very vulnerable.
he is both physically and emotionally naked.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I did
Yeah,
giggle watching this the second time. I was like,
I
this
know.
is like the first time I was like, oh, this is important. This means something. This time I'm like, it's just Gawain naked and crying, and that's
I
just
know.
funny to me.
It is funny to me too. Like I get it, but like I feel like that's like an artist thing. Like I'm
Yeah,
not really. I wouldn't consider myself an artist. So, but
yeah,
like I get it. But it's funny.
yeah. I get it. And the first time I watched this, I didn't really know who Gawain was, right?
Mm.
So I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't have just Gawain in my head, and now I'm like, okay, but I know Gawain, and now this just feels silly. I can't separate the two in this
Yeah.
scene. Normally I can.
Mhm.
But yeah.
And while White sleeps, Sean finds his glasses and contacts like in the side drawer, and he's like a little perplexed like this because he's like, "Oh, I didn't know Black wore these, whatever." And I think this is the scene where we're supposed to think that he found something out,
Hmm.
because then White wakes up and he's literally like tied up like to the bed, and we're like, "Oh shit!" Like Sean literally must have found like evidence of the twin thing,
Yeah.
but I
He's
guess
just
Sean was
fucking
just
with them.
doing it. Yeah. um,
I
that's their kink. I don't know, but
I I do think Sean's starting to suspect stuff. Like I think he's just fucking with White a little bit, but like with that and then what happens a little later and questions that are asked that are very
mm-hmm.
specific, I think he started like it's not to the point where he's like, oh, there's a twin involved, but I think he's like something's off and I don't know what it is.
He knows there's like a lie happening,
Mm-hmm.
but he even like he never suspects the twin thing.
No.
I fully believe because he was
No.
so taken aback by that.
Yeah.
But but like at this point we're like, oh, maybe he does know.
Yeah.
Um, and Todd comes in to save him and like unties him, and basically he complains. He's like, "Oh, White, you never tell me anything. Like, what have you been doing? Did you guys do the factory thing that's been
Mm-hmm.
in the news?" And like White admits it, which you're trusting Todd a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
I get it. He's been in your corner this whole time.
Yeah. Like he doesn't suspect anything's up. He thinks Todd's helping him.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, Todd is literally the reason why I'm here doing this in the first place. So,
Mm-hmm.
what reason would I have? And okay, let's go to our third relationship, which is Gam and Eugene. And uh Gam basically, because they have this love triangle thing going on, so he goes up to White and he's like teary and he apologizes for the Eugene thing because he's like, I'm so sorry, dude, I kissed your girlfriend even though you guys weren't really together, but like not really bro code.
Yeah.
And and White's just like, it's chill. Because I mean, it's
He's
not
not
his.
attached. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not his girlfriend. It's his brother's girlfriend. So it's so funny. He's literally like, yeah, dude, it's fine. I don't care. Like, yeah, of course you wouldn't care. And I don't know why the heck they did this, but Tawi is like a guest lecturer at the university. Why is the university
It's because
hosting this
he's
man?
it's because he's a good businessman, supposedly. And
Yeah,
so
but he's in the middle of a huge scandal right now.
yeah, but the lecture was planned beforehand
Yeah,
because you see that in
but
like episode 1.
it's funny that he still went knowing that all of the protesters outside of his building are college students. So,
He's got a pretty
some
big
balls, I
ego.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to have that much confidence in myself.
I would too. Is this the first time we see Tawi? Like in the flesh? It might be.
I think we see him in his office when stuff happens.
Oh, okay. We
I
might,
think we see,
yeah.
but like very briefly. This is the
Yeah.
first time we see him do anything like important ish.
Yeah. And we get really like up close and personal too. Cause like, first of all, the students are absolutely grilling him. Like, they do not fuck with this man at all here. Um, and Sean ends up cornering him in the bathroom. And he's like, he basically asks if he recognizes his father, who was the one who worked for Tawi. And like, Tawi at first is like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then he recognizes the guy. He's like, yeah, I knew him. And then Sean is like, that's my dad. Like, and he like completely loses his cool, and he is like threatening Tawi kind of, and like just being really agitated. He's like telling him to tell the truth, and Tawi's like, listen, you need to calm down. Like, your father was like a drug dealer. That's all I know. Like, you need to calm down before something worse happens to you, you know? Which is just, it's so like, I feel for Sean so bad because, like, what can you do, you know? It's hard because it's like everything is just, he's just so powerful. And he's not going to help you, and he's not going to give you closure.
I'm also not surprised that he cornered him in the bathroom.
Yeah. Because he's like, listen, like, the trial has been closed for years. My dad is like, he's dead. He's cremated or whatever. Like, please, like, just between you and me, tell me the truth. Like, I need to know this for my personal closure. And, which, like, logically, like, of course, Tawi's not going to tell him, but
Nope.
he's grief stricken, and he's desperate, and it's all he can, like, think about. So it's very, like, raw emotion.
I don't blame him for having the reaction he had.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. The students grilling Tawi was fun too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had a similar incident when I was in college. We had all the honors kids had to go sit in on a lecture. We had like monthly, like different people come in and speak, and we had I don't remember who it was, but it was some politician or something like that, and it was a very divisive person. And
Mm-hmm.
things got heated to the point where we had to have an extra meeting where everyone had like a powwow of like we have to be friends again, guys, because it
Oh,
got so
man.
intense. Um, and like things got I think it made it into the local news because of it, and I think the head of our like honors program got like pushed out and somewhere else because people
Hmm.
started digging up stuff on him and found some very inappropriate things from him that didn't fly. Like
Oh, damn.
nothing. It wasn't anything illegal, but it was things that coming from a southern university were not chill. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, it was kind of crazy, but it was definitely one of those like I lived this. Actually, I didn't live this because I got out of that even though I was in the honors program because that class was at the same time as my safety class for my labs, and that took priority. So I actually missed that semester, and so it was one of those we got out of safety, and like all the like group chats from the honors college were blowing up of everybody just angry, and so
Interesting.
all the science kids, we all came out. We were like, "What's going on with with the like liberal arts kids?" Like,
That's Tawi.
oh, mm-hmm. So very relatable for me.
I see. Yeah, I don't think I have an experience like that, but that's probably for the best.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't have any more after that one. We kept it a little less divisive.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least luckily for Sean, though, Gumpa has given him a lead about a warehouse that is like owned by Tawi that is possibly smuggling drugs. And so, okay, Sean doesn't get his answer the direct way, so now he's gonna wreak havoc. Um, so he's like, perfect. He finds this like abandoned building that has like that's tall, and he can basically use this like an observation tower for the warehouse. And so he's like, listen, white, I'm gonna, or black, I guess he thinks, but
Yeah.
it's white. Um, come spy with me. Like, I need to hang out here for a couple days maybe and like learn the guard schedule and the movements and the ins and out of the building. So like, come give me company. And so they like set up a camp and a tent in the building, and they talk and hang out, and they go up to the rooftop, and then this is where they have their first kiss.
Yay, finally.
Yay, finally, yes.
8 episodes in.
And I think this is like any sooner, I don't know if it would have made sense.
No, it wouldn't
And
have.
I feel like I've seen that critique somewhere where it's like people think it's too slow burn, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like anything sooner than this would have been like rushing it.
This is one of those shows. I think we were talking about this in maybe the Discord or maybe last week, I don't remember, but it's a show that happens to have BL, but it's not like romance is the secondary plot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the main plot is everything else that's going on, not
Yeah.
necessarily what's going on between Sean and White.
Yeah.
So,
And also in 2021, like a kiss in the 8th episode, like
mhm.
is kind of like average to
Yeah.
early. Like if we like in context, it's like okay, like the other shows coming around at that time had, if they had a kiss, like a lot of times at GMM TV shows, like they would be in the last episode. Um,
Yeah.
like Bad Buddy was like crazy at the time because they had a kiss in like episode like 5 or whatever. But like so like honestly, you know, you can look at it now and be like, wow, that's so late. But it's like, well, at the time it was like kind of early. So
Yeah. I'm trying to see what
just
else
funny
came
how
out in
things have
2021.
changed. Tale of a Thousand Stars did, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Um,
Yeah, it did. Lovely Writer came out then, but that's not GMM.
mhm.
Bad Buddy
Yeah, the
was
non
2021. Fish Upon
non
the
GMM
Sky.
shows definitely had kisses earlier, but for this company at least.
Yeah, so from the ones I've seen at least, it's Not Me, Bad Buddy, um, and Tale of a Thousand Stars were the 2021s. And yeah, even like Tale of a Thousand Stars, which is I would say romance heavy on that end, it still
Hmm.
takes a while for them to get to that point.
I mean, till the
Um,
last like 5 minutes.
yeah, is that when they have? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but even like 2022 was Vice Versa, Never Let Me Go, The Eclipse,
Hmm.
you know,
The Eclipse took a
Enchante.
while too. Like
Yeah,
this is just like how it was back then. Like
yeah,
I know
loving
now
it.
you're used to them kissing in like episode 1, but like that's just like not the deal in early 2010 2020s.
Yeah, the contrast between GMM and the non-GMM because Love in the Air also came out in 2022.
Yeah, and like barn type and stuff, which
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's funny
So,
because it's like, oh, that's why Tharn type was considered spicy, even though like today's standards, it's
it's
not spicy at all. It's
yeah,
very
it's very
like
normal,
it's
honestly.
yeah, like I mean, there's like a lot of crazy stuff in it, but
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
NC scenes are not spicy. Like they don't show anything at all.
yeah.
So, but back then it was like, oh, this is like even to this day, people are like, it's a spicy show, and I'm like, I think you just think that because that's what you thought when you first watched it. Like,
Mhm.
but like nowadays, like I wouldn't consider it a
Yeah,
spicy show.
honestly, not really anything from GMM is spicy. And then
Other than Only Friends, I think that's their like
yeah,
spiciest show by a long shot.
yeah, and then outside of GMM, it's very hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think a lot of it's like studio dependent. Like anything from Beyond Cloud's gonna be spicy. Well, would we count Dead Friends Forever as spicy? feel like maybe like that first
Yeah,
episode.
it's
But,
it's graphic.
yeah,
I
but
don't know if it's
even
spicy, but it's graphic.
I mean, there's like the blowjob in like the very first episode. That's a little.
Yeah, but even that, I'm like, I would, but it's like not. It's like not
I'd say
happy.
it's yeah,
So,
yeah. I'd say
yeah,
it's maybe because that was what 2023 or 2024. But even
2024, I
that,
think.
yeah, even going from that to like 4 minutes, right? Like,
Mm.
like 4 minutes is the most spicy.
Yeah, when it comes to Thai BL, 4 minutes is the highest on the spicy scale. And some people may argue Playboy, but I am also believe that Playboy, it's not that spicy, it's just graphic.
Yeah,
But maybe that's just because it's like not my cup of tea. Like there's like a lot of sex, but like it's not sexy.
yeah,
But some people like it, so that's my opinion.
yeah. I still haven't watched it all the way, so I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm missing something.
Yeah.
But I do have a
Anyway.
question about Gumpa.
Yeah,
Where does he get this information from?
they don't explain.
Because
Who
he's always
knows?
got some sort of insight on everything. Like
I
he
guess
has so
that's
much knowledge.
maybe that's just his like his role cuz he's like not the one doing things, but
Yeah.
he is like kind of the uncle figure to them.
Yeah.
And I guess he's just like the information broker.
Yeah. I mean
He
that's
knows
that's definitely
people.
his role, but it's like how are you getting this? Like who is your sources? I want to know where your I want Gumpa's lore.
Yeah, I know. That was like the conclusion from the last episode too. Is we need
Yeah.
Gumpa lore. I
Yeah.
need a Gumpa spinoff.
Like I love Sean and White. Gumpa is by far the most interesting character.
Yeah, he really is.
'Cause-
Yeah, I need more of him.
so okay. Well, episode 9, Sean and White have sex.
Hmm.
Speaking of spice.
Yes.
Not that we really see anything. Um,
Hmm.
it's very tame for us. It's in the tent. It's fine.
Hmm.
Um, and then afterwards or during, I don't remember. White does ask Sean if it's okay that he's quote not the same black as you're used to know. Um, and Sean's like, I know you better now than before, and it's like, do you? You sure, buddy?
Yeah. I mean,
uh,
it's like validating to White, but who's like
yeah,
worried about lying to him?
yeah. Still, I think I get why White doesn't, but I think that's the point where I would have cracked and been like, I'm a twin. I think that's I would have cracked right then and there and been like, okay, if I trust you enough to sleep with you, I trust you enough to spill the beans.
I think maybe not now, but after the next thing that happens, I would definitely be like, I need to tell him before
Yeah,
someone else tells him.
yeah.
Hint, hint.
Well, because the twin telepathy thing, whatever it is, the feelings thing, uh, after they have sex and there's all these feelings and whatever, the real Black wakes up with all this, like at the same time.
Welcome
Um,
back, Black.
yep. Um, and then he does whatever. We don't know quite yet. We'll find out in a minute.
Hmm.
But we're back to Dan and Yoke hanging out. Um, they're looking at Dan's first mural, and it's the mural about when he shot and killed Sean's dad. Um, and Yoke's like, maybe you should find a new job.
Yeah. And like, Yoke doesn't know it's Sean's dad yet, but like,
Mm,
that's when. Yeah, but I'm like literally like if you shot and killed someone because you're a cop, like I just would not be a cop anymore. I'm sorry.
right?
Like
Yeah,
you are not trusted with the gun. You really
yeah.
need to switch careers.
Dan is like on some redemption arc or something. Is like his logic to doing what he's doing. Um,
Hmm.
but sure. Um, I am in agreement with Yoke though. Maybe go find a new job.
Yeah.
Like redemption arc isn't gonna help you here, bud.
I mean, he's kind of like a famous artist too. Like even if he's anonymous, like
Yeah, there's got to be a way to make money in that somehow.
yeah, there's a path there. I don't know what it is,
I
but
don't either.
you don't have to be a cop. You can work at you can be a
Right?
barista.
Something.
Yeah.
Maybe not be miserable in your life.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, Dan's determined to stay being a cop. And then we're back to Sean and White, who are doing some parkour again. Uh, oh, this is where they're okay. I was like, what is
They're like
pole
at the
parkour? Yeah,
they're like the
the
dock trying to jump to some stump in the
yeah,
water.
it's literally like big poles in the water, and Sean easily jumps to it, and he's like, yeah, if you can make it here, whatever. Um, and somehow White makes it to the pole, even though he is short as shit. I don't know how he made it there. Um,
It just is not possible for like Gunn is like 5'3" probably. Like
yeah.
I actually have no idea how tall he is, but that's how tall he looks to me. There's no way he's making an 8-foot jump.
Now I have to see how
8
tall
feet.
Gun's.
It was probably like 15 feet.
How tall is Gun? I don't remember what his
Oh,
last
he's
name is.
5'6".
Oh, he's taller than me. I can't say anything.
I too am 5'6".
Nice.
And I
I'm
could not have made that jump, so.
yeah. I am 5'5", and I don't have a far jump anyway, so
Mm.
parkour is not for me by any means.
Mm.
Um, but because of like their bet they had, Sean now wins the ability to ask White Black um, to do something. And Sean's like, I'm gonna cash this in later though. Okay.
Okay.
um and now we're back to Yoke, who is being stalked. Um great.
Mhm.
So Dan does hide Yoke in his car. And they go to Yoke's house, and Dan gets to meet Yoke's mom. So we're moving pretty fast there. And Yoke admits to doing the factory thing. Um and Dan's like, "Fine, I'll help protect you, like if you're going to do dumb shit." Basically. Like
Yeah, I mean, you
you
kind of
should
have to now. Like, you're
yeah,
a cop, dude. Either report this or protect it. Like, those are your
right.
only two options.
Yeah. And so Dan says he wants to help protect them. And then Dan and Yoke kiss. So yay.
Yay.
We've made it there. It is so weird to me to see First and Gawain kiss.
I love it so much. Like,
I just First having kissed like 2/3 of GMMTV at this point.
mm-hmm. I love that for him.
Same. Between him and Mond.
Yeah.
'Cause Mond after Only Friends made his way through a lot of people too.
Yeah. And we even get to see them kiss at
Yeah.
in OnlyFans, so lucky us.
um so Sean and White are also being followed. Uh this one was a little misleading for a while too as to who was following them. Um but they are kissing in the garage and somebody sees it. And we don't know who, so
Hmm. We just kind of get a POV of their POV, so.
yeah. And then Black and White's mom calls Black, um, and he's run from the hospital, and she wants to meet up with him. Uh,
Which, and this is the first time White hears that Black has woken up. Like,
yeah,
he didn't know about it before, so he's like, oh shit.
yeah. He must have like gotten out before the doctors even realized he was awake, because
Hmm.
at how it didn't get back to Todd
Well,
faster.
Todd, that's true. Because
Like it does
Todd
get to
does find
Todd.
out.
Yeah, Todd finds out, but I like it takes a minute.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe
uh,
Todd just didn't want to tell White right away because he
Oh yeah, trying to figure it out.
he's afraid of the information that might have been spilled. Like he doesn't.
Yeah,
So maybe
maybe
he waited to try to find Black first before
it could be.
telling White because he didn't want White to go look for him or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Bad
I think
idea.
we do see um Todd in the hospital. I think we do with the empty bed. So I think he does make it
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
maybe. Okay. Um. So White and Sean run into Namo outside. And she knows something is up. And so this is, I think, the point where we're supposed to assume it was her that was watching.
Yeah.
Um. And so she asks about it, and Sean does confirm, that there's something between him and Black.
Mhm.
And she's upset and totally valid about it. Um,
Mhm.
but she isn't mad because Sean never did ask her out technically, like
Yeah.
to be like
Oh,
official. So
poor girl.
right,
Yeah. I would be so mad at being like led on, but like she's very understanding because I do think like Sean never intended for this to happen. Like
yeah,
it kind of just happened out of like to him it happened out of nowhere, but obviously to us we know it's because White is a completely different person.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's like I'm so sorry girl that like you weren't really led on, but like kind of
Kind of
that
were, yeah,
sucks. Yeah.
like
Like it wasn't on purpose, but it did happen.
yeah. I mean, the problem at that end, I think, is Sean should have either locked it down, or both of them
Mhm.
really. Takes two, or um or like established something because I think they just didn't even talk about it and they just kind of existed together instead of like
Yeah.
establishing any kind of what are we.
I think the vibe is definitely that Namo felt more for him than Sean ever felt for her.
For sure.
And so like in this scene like she acts like she's all like chill about it. Like, yeah, don't worry about it, man. Like it sucks, but it's fine. But like later she's like crying to her graffiti friends. She's
I
like
know.
sobbing and she's like, I'm in love with him. Like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So it's like she definitely like I think she hid the depth of her feelings from him. So he also kind
Mhm.
of didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad for her for sure.
Mhm.
Um I also think, I mean, the timing was just rough because Sean didn't even get a
Mhm.
chance to like clear things up with her before she like found them, right? So
Yeah. Right.
so but at least he was clear once that happened.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
um, and then there's a bunch of gang guys that are outside of Black's apartment. And so White sneaks in and is immediately attacked by someone who happens to be Black.
Oh,
Yay. So they're
yay.
reunited and they hug. And then White explains that he's been pretending to be Black to like figure out what the hell happened, right? And Black's like, "You're an idiot."
Yeah.
He's pretty pissed about it.
Yes, he's like, wait, that's my piercings, that's my clothes, that's my tattoo. Like, are you pretending to be me?
hmm
And he's like mad about it because he like White does not need to be putting himself in the danger that he is, but also it's like, okay, did you fuck up my relationships with anyone? Like, I
Yeah.
also would be if I was a twin. I'd be like, bro, you like broke up with my girlfriend for me. Like, what the
Right.
fuck?
Um, yeah, and then Black is also, even though they've been apart for so long, Black is still very protective of White. Of the twins, Black
Mhm.
is the older twin, and they definitely emphasis they put an emphasis on Black being older for some reason,
Mhm.
even though they're twins. Um,
I feel like most Thai shows I've seen with twins in it do this, so I wonder if
yeah,
it's a Thai culture
I bet
thing.
I bet it is because the age thing's such a important thing on who's older and stuff. But
Yeah.
so Black is very protective, and I think that was also part of it. Like it's the relationships and all that, but it's also you put yourself in harm's way, you dumbass. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
especially when um White is like, yeah, Todd was the one helping me with all of this and whatever, and Black's like, you idiot.
Yeah.
Guess what? Todd's the one that put me in the fucking hospital.
Ugh. It's like you fool. Like you like first of all, you've been pretending me to be me all this time And you didn't even figure out the one thing you were trying to
right?
find out. Like, he literally
Which,
failed, like, the entire mission until Black woke up and just told him the answer.
yeah. To be fair, Todd played it excellent,
Oh, and
right?
to the point where, like, the first time I watched the show,
Shock.
I was gooped and gagged. I had no idea. Like, I literally didn't expect this at all. And which, like, watching back, I'm like, okay, I should have been able to guess this. Like, Todd's
No,
super rich and whatever. But, like, the first time I watched it, I literally had no idea. And so this was, like, such a good twist.
it really was because I was like, oh, Todd's just the rich friend from basically a previous life, more or
Mm-hmm.
less, right? Because they're like childhood friends and whatever, and so he's doing what he can to help his childhood friend. Because it's sometimes you have like the different friend groups or whatever, and so you have like the childhood friend and then like your present friends, and so he's just trying to take care of somebody he's known for so long, and then nope, he's the one who nearly killed him.
Yeah. Crazy.
I just to then reach out to White and be like, "Hey, like hell of a plan." Um
It is. I mean, it's like when you kill someone and then you're the one to call the police to self-report or to report it, but like, you know, like it should make you more suspicious. But I just did not suspect Todd at all.
No, not at all. Wasn't even close to my radar. I was like, I don't know who it is. I think
Hmm.
Tawi was my only guess at this point.
Yeah, I think at this point, like everyone, like it was just kind of understood that it was like Tawi and his guys.
Yeah, it
And
was
so
gonna
it's like at
be
that point we weren't even like looking for the person who did it anymore because we thought
no,
it was
just Tawi.
obvious.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. I think at this point, the first time I watched it, I was like, it's either Tawi or they're gonna like if they're gonna give me a crazy like out of nowhere thing, it's gonna be Gumpa because we don't know anything about this kid,
Uh
right?
huh.
Like Todd never even crossed my mind.
Uh huh. I know. I really enjoy Sing. I love seeing him in shows. I'm really happy
Hmm.
he has like a new one coming up. But
Hmm.
he's just like he's such a good villain.
He is
So so at this exact moment, Todd calls
convenient.
and Black's like answer it, but like don't tell him I'm here. And so White acts dumb and basically like Todd is like, "Oh, Black got out of the hospital," and White has to be like, "Oh my god, no way." And then Todd's like, "Okay, like wait in his apartment for him to show up, like don't go anywhere." He's like, "Okay, I'll do that. Don't worry." Cuz like Todd wants to find Black ASAP cuz he's like MIA, so
Yeah.
so they successfully kind of play that off and they go downstairs and and Black like literally maybe murders like the two gang guys downstairs. Like I think they're dead.
Yeah.
Like he like curb stomps them.
Yeah. Black, it's this is where you because up until this point we really don't have that big of a feel for like who Black is, right? Like we saw
Mhm.
where like he abandoned Sean and but that's like it. Now you kind of see that like he's not to be fucked with.
Oh yeah. We have seen Black through like everyone else's eyes,
Yeah.
but we have never seen Black through his own eyes until
Yeah.
now. And this is like such a good scene to set the difference between them where
Hmm.
of White who is so worried about hurting people and Black who just murders two people because they are blocking the stairwell.
Yeah.
Like they are going to try to murder him, but like
Yeah.
it's a very different approach and I just
Mm.
I love seeing someone play twins and playing them like completely different people. It's
Yeah.
so
We're
good.
yeah. Gunn does an amazing job of making it feel like it's two very distinct characters.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So White goes to meet Mom. And he's like, "This is my last mission." Because Black is basically like, "You need to like get out of my life and stay out." Be like, not because I hate you, but because like, girl, you're in danger. Like,
hmm.
save yourself. This is none of your business. Like, stop meddling.
Yep.
And so White's kind of like, "Okay, my last mission is like, I'm just gonna go meet up with Mom." And so he's like, okay, I have to like extra act like black because she's our mother and she'll know the difference. And so
He's
like he
terrible at that.
gets, it's so bad. He to this day cannot act like black,
No.
literally to save his life. So the meeting is basically they have dinner and she's just like, listen, your efforts are useless. Like you're gonna be fighting this fight for the rest of your life because you know you cut off the snake of a head and two heads grow back basically, and so it's pointless. They're too powerful. You're gonna get yourself killed. Um, and then she ends it with, "Oh, and hey, can you pass all that along to Black?" Which is like so cunty. Like,
Yeah.
like she knew the whole time, but like, you know, it's her
Yeah.
sons. Like, of course she knows, even if she abandoned one of them.
Yeah. I think having White and Black interact and have that like scene right before this one,
Mm-hmm.
so you see the contrast so much. It was a good like reminder for when White goes to meet Mom and he's so like timid around
Mm-hmm.
her. And part of that is
Mm-hmm.
also this first time he's seen his mom in like what, 10, 15 years. So
Yeah.
like, so it's also kind of an emotional moment for him. And so you can tell he's not like, he's already a terrible actor, but
Mm-hmm.
to add on everything else and to have that contrast of like who Black really is, because Black would have
Mm-hmm.
gone in there, no fucks given, like, you know, leaning and hanging out of a chair.
Well, first of all, he just wouldn't. If it was Black, he wouldn't have gone.
That too.
Like, like I think just even the fact that he went was like probably suspicious.
Yeah. So it was super
Yeah.
obvious that it was not Black.
Yeah. But luckily, this is like kind of the last time he has to act like Black. So.
Yeah.
So back to Gam and Eugene. They just kind of keep going back and forth, but he asks her out. Basically, now that like White, or who he thinks is Black, has like forgiven him for this, he asks her out, and she's like, "No, I don't think so." And he's like, "Okay, it's fine." He's like, "I get it." Like he's chill about it, but you know,
Respect.
yeah,
You
respect.
know.
I love Gam.
Hmm.
I would date him.
Same. But that's also just, I would date Mond in any universe, I'm not gonna lie. But besides maybe only friends.
I would date him. I would let him ruin my life, but
I
it's
mean, I
okay.
would, but yeah, I would.
Yeah,
Okay, Boeing.
I know. So, Sean and Gumpa they make a plan to tip off the police about like the drug warehouse, and basically their plan it's so convoluted, but like I get it. Their plan is to tell the cops, and basically they know that Tawi has like snakes and the cops, and so it'll spread around the cops who one of them who's a snake will probably hear, and then he will go tip off the warehouse, and so that they can move the drugs out before they are searched, which is like okay, that part of the plan solid. What they're gonna do after, ridiculous, but we haven't gotten there.
Happens when you let a bunch of 20-year-olds plan major
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, because then basically their plan after that is like, okay, that's when we'll catch them. It's like, okay, what are you gonna do? But Yoke offers to have Dan help. He's like, hey, my friend's a cop. Like, I will have him spread the word. That'll go great. We love cops.
Yeah. Worked out so well so far.
Yeah. And so they kind of like this is like a throwback to their stakeout when White and Sean were like in that abandoned building, and we see them like they're playing like Never Have I Ever, and they're asking each other questions, getting to know each other better. And Sean asks if he has any siblings, which is like another evidence of like, oh, does he know? Because like at this point I'm like, oh, he
Yeah.
definitely knows. But
I I think hindsight, instead of this is what he knows, it's this is how he's getting the information that pieces it together when it finally does make sense.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
af- yeah, I think it's almost the reverse of what it feels like at the time, where
Hmm.
it's like that was a very specific question, but honestly, it was just a general question. Do you have
Yeah,
siblings?
it's like,
It's a
yeah,
normal
if you think
question,
about it, I'm
right?
like, that's such a normal question to ask someone. But
Yeah.
yeah, and you know what that is? That is good writing.
Yes.
Good writing. This is what it looks like. So, um, okay, so, oh god, this scene, it
This
like
hurts.
destroys me. This is how you tear my heart out and like spit on it and stomp on it and throw it into the ocean.
Well,
So
um
Sean is he basically calls his boyfriend black, white, whatever, and he's like, "Hey, I'm like ready to cash in on my reward that like I won that one time that we made a bet." But of course, real Black is back, and he has his original phone, so he's the one who answers the call. And I mean, Black at this point doesn't know that anything's up. He's just like, he gets a call from Sean, who's like, "Hey, meet me here. Like, I'm gonna cash in my reward." And he's like, "What the fuck? Okay." So they meet up, and Sean asks, he's like, "My like, what I want you to do, I want you to be with me." Um, and then we get a flashback where we see it was Black who was the one who caught them kissing in the garage. It wasn't Namo. And so he did kind of
crazy.
have like an idea. Yeah. That's like, could you imagine waking up from a coma and then your long lost twin is making out with like your enemy gang member?
No wonder he was
Like,
mad.
damn. Yeah. Oh, he's pissed. And so he he kisses Sean and then spits and then punches him, and he keeps punching him, and poor Sean like is so distraught, and in Black keeps telling him like fight back, and just Sean can't and won't, and it's so heartbreaking because like here Sean is thinking that the person he loves is beating him because he asked him to be with him, and it's like it's heartbreaking. Like he like I know that as soon as Black came back, White didn't really have a chance to say anything to Sean. Like he literally hadn't seen him since, but like that's when I'm like, okay, you really should at least warn him like, hey, if you see me walking around and I'm like angry, like, and don't try to kiss me cuz it's not me. Huh, not me.
Yeah,
uh,
I think so much is happening at that moment though. It's like that's he's gone to see his mom and I don't know what he's doing after that and
mhm. He's just
yeah.
disappearing, I think.
And then yeah, and then it's also a matter of does at that point does White even still have Sean's number because it would have been on Black's phone.
Mm,
So,
no.
yeah, cuz even if it's like if he has his own phone now unless like I would have put important numbers on my other phone, like my real phone and not Black's phone.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would have done, but I bet that's not what he does. Um
The thing is though, like he was just going to abandon and leave.
yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
don't think he was going to contact Sean at all.
No.
I don't think he was going to contact anyone. He was just gonna vanishing act it, which is
Yeah.
shitty. Cause like, what do you think was gonna happen? But yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was on purpose.
No, for sure. Because I mean that's what Black wanted and also it was kind of safer for him to do that if he was going to listen to Black, right? It's if nobody
Mhm.
knows that he's the twin, then
Mhm.
nobody will go after him because if people are pissed at Black, they're going to go after White, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a an open target because White is kind of useless.
Yup. Yeah. So this is yeah. And is so devastated, and he goes and he cries to Namo, And I love her so much. She is just like, you fucking asshole. You dare break my heart. And then you come crying to me because you have a broken heart. Like, but, she helps him vent through like art and graffiti. Like, she like gives him the spray paint can and is like, just vent out your feelings. And he goes and like writes like, you know, you fucking asshole, whatever, throughout the garage. And she kind of goes through and like embellishes it and like makes it like very artful or whatever. And um yeah, it's like it's a really nice like tie-in between like art and emotion and healing and stuff, but like and bonding, like, and I she's just like a really good friend. Like she doesn't have to be so nice to him, but like she is, because she's compassionate and she understands that like everything that happened, like it wasn't his fault, it wasn't her fault, it was just circumstance. And yeah,
Feelings
she's really
change,
cool.
right? So, yeah.
Mhm.
No, she's good people.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
And Sean also apologized to Yoke because previously he did not want Dan involved. Like, he was like, we're not letting a fucking cop in. Like, you're literally insane. Like, we're not. Like, he was so mad at Yoke about it. And they had like a little fight thing, which I think I
Mhm.
omitted for time. Um,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, he was like, okay, I'm sorry for being so hard on you. Like, just, it's fine. He can be a part of the plan. But then Tawi's men break into the garage while they're discussing this. They shoot Sean in the arm. It's just a graze, but we don't know that. And White runs in and saves him and they escape.
That was
Amazing. Way to end an episode.
crazy. Yeah, that was a crazy, like, tense ending.
Yeah. This show's really good at like the episodes leave on like a cliffhanger that like make you really you
Mhm.
want to keep watching.
Yep. Um so, episode 11. We start with Black and he's going to see Todd. Had to happen at some point, but is crazy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
And it's funny to me that Black also can't act like White.
they're terrible. Um
uh,
cuz Todd immediately knows it's Black cuz it's just the way he walks alone. Like, you can already tell it's a different person. Which
mm-hmm.
kudos to Gunn for that.
Yeah.
Cuz to like have to like change how you walk and stuff to make it feel like a different person is not easy.
Yeah, I mean, I even forget it's the same actor.
Mhm. Um so yeah, Todd knows that it is Black and drugs his drink and then literally drowns him in a pool.
Let your
uh
guard down.
right? And then I think Black went in too cocky. Um
Yeah,
thinking he could handle
definitely.
Todd even with being drugged cuz I think he knew it was drugged, right? Like, he suspected, I think. No?
I don't know if he did. I think he
Oh.
thought he was selling being White.
Oh, okay, maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
I don't exactly remember
I think so.
when,
Yeah.
but yeah, maybe that was what.
Yeah. So, but while Todd is I think Black is literally just unconscious in the water and Todd starts to feel guilty about killing his friend. Um and so uh he pulls him out of the water. Um and also, like, Todd's beef really isn't even with Black, I don't think. It's he wants to
Mm.
like take down Tawi himself, but it's not because Tawi sucks, it's because he wants Tawi's power, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's like, those drug warehouses Tawi runs, I want those warehouses. like shit like that, where it's like, okay, I guess we have the same
Yeah.
goal, but like you're not a
No.
very noble cause.
No, because it's like you're going to turn around and then that's going to be the next problem. Cuz Todd's
Yeah.
like, okay, it's kind of like the same thing of what like their Black and White's mom was saying. It's like, okay,
Exactly.
you're gonna take out this power. There's gonna be a
Mhm.
void. Somebody else is gonna fill it, and that's where Todd's like, I want to be the one
Exactly.
to fill it. Like,
Yeah,
okay, Todd.
exactly. I mean, yeah, it's basically the idea of like it's bad to assassinate a political figure because then someone worse usually takes their
Yep.
role, you know? Like, yeah, it's exactly what their mom was talking about.
Yeah. So that's Todd's plan,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where all this has come from. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're back to Sean and White, and Sean thinks he's with Black again. Still, like, he still doesn't know, and Sean's like yelling at White, and so that's where White realizes what's happened, that he's already run into Black. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like on a motorbike or something, and White can tell that Black is like dying through their twin sense thing, and ends up crashing the bike because of his like physical reaction to it.
God,
Sean
the twin
obviously
sense
starts.
is not useful.
No, it's so inconvenient. Um,
Yeah.
and so we then jump back to everyone else that was like running away from when the garage got bombarded by the gang dudes. Um, and Dan has been shot. Um, so they go back to Dan's studio, and Yoke is playing doctor. And like Dan's having to like talk him through everything he's got to do. Um, and that is when Dan admits to Yoke that it was Sean's father that he killed. So we
Uh-oh.
get that plot twist
Yeah.
of everyone's connected, and that's the one he feels super guilty about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Yoke is like, "Hey, so don't tell him until after all of this is done."
Yeah, good idea.
Right? Because Sean's gonna lose his shit.
Yeah, he's gonna kick you off the plan. Like,
Yeah,
and he's probably going to kill you, actually, so
yeah. Like
good
this isn't
luck.
gonna go well for you. You just
Uh-uh.
keep this inside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we're back to White and Sean, and White is patching up Sean's like graze from his bullet wound thing, and Sean's mad and confused, and he demands an explanation. Um, and I don't know why White doesn't give him one at this point. Like Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. I know. At this point, dude, like, because like, he's still planning to just disappear and not tell
Yeah,
anyone about any of this. So I guess that's why. Because if he tells him, then he's kind of committed to sticking
yeah,
around. But yeah, dude,
yeah.
I would have cracked already.
Right. Because White is like cuddling him, because they're back in the abandoned building in the tent again, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And White promises he's not gonna go anywhere, but then when Sean wakes up the next morning, he's gone, and
Yeah.
Gumpa is showing up to pick him up, and he's like, "Hold yourself together, my dude."
Mm-hmm.
um, and then Gumpa takes him over to Dan's studio because that's where they're using as a safe house now, so everybody's kind of hanging out there. And Black shows up, like actual Black shows up, and
Mm-hmm.
he yells at all of them for getting a cop involved. Um, and then Sean is very suspicious at this point because this is a whole lot of whiplash, right?
Yeah.
And so he does his trust fall test with White because that was the thing White started.
Mm-hmm.
And Black, who doesn't know what the fuck this is, right? Fails, right? So, um, there's already like that red flag. So Sean's like, okay, something's off. And then all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
Black is smoking, and so Sean's again like, why are you smoking again? Because White had said, that he had quit because he wasn't gonna start smoking for that. And so
Mm-hmm.
Sean at this point is like, okay, this is two fucking different people. He's figured it out. Um,
Yeah. And plus, he knows that Black has a brother now, so.
yeah. And so Sean handcuffs himself to Black. It's a hell of a way to figure this shit out.
I know. I'm
And
like, I don't know if the handcuff was necessary, but okay.
yeah, and he like throws the keys like away. Um and they
Mm-hmm.
start fighting. And then in all that, Sean's like, "Do you have a twin?" Like, finally.
Mm-hmm.
And Black like stops for like a second and is like, "Stay away from my brother."
Oh, so good.
Yay! Finally.
Yes, he admits it finally, and I love his way to admit it is very Black. It's like
Hmm.
he doesn't like he's not like yeah, he's like don't fucking talk to my brother anymore, and it's like
Yeah.
okay, Black.
Yeah, because he's so protective of White. Like he's such an asshole to White, like 100%. But he's an asshole to everybody. So,
Yeah,
but it's there's so much love for White though that he just yeah, I love it.
yeah,
But I'm
me
glad Sean
too.
finally knows because I feel so bad for him
Feels so
because
bad because yeah, up until like when he got beat up by Black and didn't understand what was happening, it was like maybe he knows, but like then
no,
this whole stretch, it's like he doesn't know at
no,
all. Like he has no idea until right now
yeah,
what happened.
yeah,
So
it's yeah, and it's like when Black beat him up, like that wasn't just anything. Like that one eye was like shut and
oh
swollen,
yeah, he was
and like
looking
he
messed up.
he was like a half step from looking like Black did in the hospital that first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yeah, so
Yeah. And then episode 12 starts, and it's basically just Gumpa being like, yeah, I knew.
Goomba is
Like,
insane.
he literally is like, you are like, you're such, him and like the rest of him, he's like, you guys are like such idiots. Like, I thought I taught you better than this, but you guys are so unobservant. You didn't realize that, like, you've been living with a stranger the past couple months. Like,
Right? Goomba
it's
was
so
literally
funny.
like you spent the most time with him out of anyone and you didn't notice.
Yeah, like,
Goomba's like, I figured it out day one.
yeah.
I
He's like,
just
I felt his hand, and I was like, this is not the hand of someone who's worked a day in their life.
no, I just love the Goomba just didn't even question it. I love it so much that he's just like, I'm
Hmm.
just gonna let this play out. Like,
Yeah.
sure.
I bet, yeah, I bet like having his perspective on anything, just like kind of from a step back, is so fun. So,
Right?
love him.
I I love him. That's why I need his lore.
I know. And so Sean goes to find White because he doesn't have his contact or anything, but now that he knows the truth, he goes to find White, and they're at like the pier, the water where they were before, and White just starts like running, and Sean chases him, and he's like, I know about the twin thing, like please stay, like it's okay, like I want you to stay. And White is like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna stay. And Sean is like, okay, well, I'm cashing in on my wish that I won, and I wish you to literally never show your face again. Because he's like, if I'm going to get over you, I need like a clean break. Like, you cannot keep coming back and saving me here and there. Like, you have to be gone.
The
So
heartbreak.
it's heartbreaking because it's like, it's such a high of like, I figured it out. It's okay. Like, it's going to be fine. I accept you and all this. And then just to be turned down again. And like, this time he isn't turned down by being beat up, but this time he's turned down by like White rejecting him. It's really sad.
Yeah. It definitely sucks.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna go back to Gam and Eugene and Black, their whole thing. So the Black has I don't know if we mentioned it, but he has two statues that
We
say B and G,
don't.
and they like White assumed it was for Black and Gam, but it's actually for Black and Gene, as in like Eugene. And also the card that Gam wrote was for Eugene. It was not for Black. Like he never had feelings for Black, which is a funny misconception, especially because his phone wallpaper is rainbow. So I'm like, oh, they really laid it on thick there. But
Gam's sexuality is pretty fluid anyway, because like
Mm-hmm.
At one point it is also like mentioned, like their other classmate, we never really mention her, but she's like
Mm.
trans, right? And so, and then they also, she talks about how that she used to date Gam at one point. That's like a brief, like one-off thing. So,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if
and
that
then,
was just like if they did used to date or if because I think she jokes a couple times about being his girlfriend, and I'm like I don't know if it's just like they're
oh,
like kind of like friendly joking or if they did date, but
yeah,
it's hard to
I got
tell.
the
I think
impression
with
that they
the
did date, but
translation.
yeah, I'm, I
Mm.
don't know. So I
Yeah,
feel like Gam would be down with anyone, to be perfectly honest. He gives me that vibe.
I mean, yeah, he's
He's just
very
very
bi
stuck on Gene at
vibes.
this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So like honestly, and especially like his chemistry with White, especially that
Hmm.
one scene where they're face to face, I'm like, oh, like I feel like this
Give me.
I I feel the homoerotic tension, like
Hmm.
but it's actually Gammon or Black and Jean.
Yeah.
And so he Gam goes and like tells her that he was like, I was going to confess to you a while back, but I like chickened out. And they like dance together a little bit. But then Black walks in, and this is the first time actual Black has seen Eugene, since he was in the hospital. And he asks Eugene for a hug, which she does, but then he goes in for a kiss, and Gam stops him. This is so messy. But then Black collapses because White tries to like drown himself. And then, but White doesn't. He's okay, and so Black just stands up and he's like, "This might be goodbye." And then he like turns around and runs away. And poor like Gam and Eugene are sitting there like, "What the fuck?" like why did my ex come back, hug and try to kiss me, collapse, and then just be like, "I'll never see you again," and runs away. Like
Die.
how scary. No, I would assume he is like gonna go like commit suicide or something, which I think she does. That's what she does think. I feel like she mentions at some point, but it's very sketchy. It's like I would be calling in like a welfare check on this person. um and so Dan, Dan, you idiot. He can't hide his guilt anymore, and he tells Sean about the thing. He's like, "Hey, I killed your dad." um, which Yoke did not wanted him to wait, but I guess Dan couldn't wait. And then Sean hands him the gun and is like, "Actually, it's okay you killed my dad, but actually you need to kill yourself right now." Um, and Dan feels so bad about it. He like almost does. Which this is the episode with the suicide trigger warning if you couldn't tell. And Yoke and comes and Gam comes and they stop it basically and they like talk some sense into him. They're like, "Dude, like you are not going to feel better if the person who killed your dad kills himself, like you're not going to feel better. Like this is not the way to go about things." Like, you know. So that's good, I guess. Don't need more.
Intense theme, I will say.
Yeah.
Like, it really brings in the like to home like the point of like exactly how upset Sean is over everything. Where it's just like straight up like, go kill yourself right now.
And Dan too, because he almost
Yeah,
does it. Like he is
yeah.
like
He's very
kind of
distraught.
down to do it because he feels so guilty.
Dan, please
So
stop being a cop. You're not cut
yeah,
out for it.
you're not
you're
like, and
you're
it's
too
a
good for
bad
this world.
career.
Yeah.
Yeah, just literally be a barista and do your art. Like it's
Yeah.
fine.
There's definitely a better career choice for you, my dude.
Mm-hmm. And so Sean is now like he's going crazy a little bit. Like he doesn't trust anyone now. So he's like, I'm gonna do a one man mission.
Great.
But wonder that's gonna like end up super well. And he's planning to like sneak into the factory and like take pictures of the drugs as evidence, and that's what they're going to send to the police to try to get the police to get like a warrant for the building. But White follows him, and they basically like make up. Like White is like, I'm here to stay. Like I'm not like I want to be with you. Like let's do this together. Don't. They like have kind of like a tussle where White's like, you're a fucking idiot. Like don't go in there alone. Like I'm gonna come with you. I'll stand by you. Like I'm not gonna run away again. So they make up.
Sean having some trust issues there, but I think that's justifiable.
Yeah, Sean's been through a lot.
Yeah. The last like 48 hours of his life have been kind of crazy.
Yes, dude. Yeah, poor. I feel quite bad for him. Like first he's like beat up by his boyfriend, and then he learns that his boyfriend is not his boyfriend. It's his boyfriend's twin, who's actually his boyfriend, who then breaks up with him to run away. And then he finds the guy who kills his dad is his friend's friend. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
within like 48 hours.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And he was shot recently, kind of. So,
Yep.
yeah. Um so they are able to sneak in, they find some drugs, they take some pictures of it, and Sean is like, "Okay, we're going to go back, but like you have to tell everyone that you're white. Like that's my one condition is that they all need to know you're not black."
I
And
love
so
how unhinged he is about it because he's like, I'm just gonna sit here next to these drugs until you agree to it.
yeah. Yeah, he's like, "I'm just going to get caught unless like you agree."
Very Sean move.
It is. And so they go back, they tell everyone that like there's white, like I'm not black, and like of course they don't believe it for a while. And like Gumpa's just standing in the back like um but they eventually like they explain more, and then the friends believe it. And then they also kind of like they're like, "What's going on between you guys?" And like Sean and White kind of confirm their relationship. So now the secret's out. But okay, my one problem with the show, I wish I so throughout the whole show I so badly was craving the scene where like black and white are somewhere together, and that's how people realize that there's twins. I wanted that to be the reveal so bad. Like I still crave it. But no big reveal. They just tell them. Yeah, they just like literally like they're like in the shower and they're like, "Hey, here's the truth." And it's like, "No, I want white and black to show up at the same time, and then Yoke and Gam to be like, you know."
Yeah. I do love that Yoke and Gam were both like, haha, funny. We're not falling for your trick. Um
Yeah. And
it's
Sean's
like,
like, "No, think about it. Like, hasn't he been acting weird lately?"
yeah, and then it's like, what's your name? And it's like white, and it's like, haha, black and white, sure. Like that's not a
Yeah.
common thing that happens in Thailand with names.
Yeah.
Like you can't laugh at that, guys. That's you guys do that.
Yeah, that's I believe that's how a lot of twin name works. So,
Day, night, black, white, it's
yeah. It's
so
cute. I love it, but
I do
it's
too.
not far fetched.
No, it's not. So, but yeah, I thought it was hilarious that they were like, sure thing. And it's like, no, actually.
We're being serious.
This one was like, okay, Gam, how did you not realize it when he didn't know anything about it, any of his schoolwork? Like, you're having to teach him everything he should already know.
Again, Gumpa needs to get them off the rooftops and get them to like start like observing things,
Right?
just in general.
Yeah, because the only one I would let slide not catching on is Yoke, because honestly, not much interaction between those two. Because they just
Yeah,
dislike each other enough, and Yoke was too busy chasing after his man. Um,
yeah, that's true. But Gam should have known. They were like best friends.
for sure. Like, Gam should have known like the day he like showed up early to class and then didn't know shit.
And then didn't have a bike.
Right? Like that whole first day should have been like a the fuck is wrong with you? Like
Yeah, especially after being missing for the last like couple weeks.
yeah.
So
So, but off to episode 13 and we get a moment of Eugene and Namo talking about art at a protest. So yay, we passed the Bechtel test.
yay,
A
we did
rarity.
it.
um I love that that's so rare that we actually have to point out when that happens.
Yeah, it's definitely something I like subconsciously keep track of. Like I
Hmm.
don't try to, but like it just like stands out. Like when it happens, and I'm like, oh, there it is. Like I light
I
up.
I definitely look for it just because I think it's amusing. Because I mean, a lot
Yeah,
of shows there's not even like women in the show, to be honest, right? It's all just dudes,
yeah. That's
unless
the
there's like
thing. I
somebody's
mean,
mom.
yeah. Like if it's like BL, it's kind of more understandable because
Hmm.
it's probably mostly male characters. But I do think having no women in gay men's stories is like super unrealistic and
Yeah.
like it's like really like the like a lot of like queer people no matter their gender are friends with other queer people no matter their
Hmm.
gender like
Yeah.
it's not like when you have a show where it's like 15 dudes and no women it's like come
Pit
on.
babe.
Yeah, okay, Pit Babe I give a pass because of the whole Omegaverse element, but only because I thought the whole universe was only men and then they were Alpha Beta Omega. And then season 2 they just had like one random woman doctor and it was like, "Oh, I guess women do exist. You just chose not to."
So season one,
Yeah.
I think it's either the final episode or the 11th episode. There's one woman at the auction,
Yeah, that's
and I was like, oh, okay, there are
yeah.
women. Got it.
I think at that point just write women out of the universe entirely. Like if you're having an Omegaverse show and like men can get pregnant, I feel like it's okay for
Yeah.
part of the lore to just have
Yeah.
no women. It's
Hmm.
almost worse to just have women in your universe and have 20 characters in your show and all of them are male. You know?
Yeah. I just that's my favorite one to think about though, because it was like until that woman showed up at the auction, I was like, there's no women. It's fine. And then it's like,
That no,
oh.
literally.
I'm like, okay, this
I just
changes things a little as far
I
as that
thought it was
goes.
part of the lore. There's
Yeah.
only pit babes and no pit babettes.
I wonder if they're when they're at the like bar or whatever, I wonder if there's women there that I just never noticed and never paid attention to.
Probably in the background,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Because the only one, because she like screams or something is the at the auction is the only reason I even registered that she was there, I think.
Yeah, there are no women with the speaking role in Pit
No,
Babe. I can almost guarantee
no,
that.
there's not. If she
Mm.
says anything, it's she does like a bid on an auction. That's the extent of her line. And I bet
Yeah, and
there's no
even
line
that
for that.
I doubt.
Yeah. So, but not me passes the Bechtel test because Eugene and Nemo have a conversation that's out there about art.
Hmm.
Yay.
Yay.
Um, and then Gam visits Eugene and asks her to wait for him. I will say, for all the credit we gave him for accepting her no earlier, the fact that he won't let it go is driving me insane a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like it wasn't like a hard no.
Yeah,
I
like
think it
it's
was
fine, but
I think it was more of like I need closure with Black first and I like need to be apart from him for a little bit before this can be a thing and then that like happens kind of. I don't know.
yeah.
I agree. He's a little pushy about it, but it's
Yeah.
she instead of being like no I won't date you, she's like I'm not going to date you right now.
Yeah. So like
But
it's fine in the end, and it's not like he's aggressive about it, right? Like he's still chill. Like
mhm.
if she like when he says to like wait for me, she does
Mhm.
agree. So we've
Mhm.
established that now, so it's fine. But like if she had said no, I don't think he would have gotten like upset over it. He'd have just been like, okay, and walked away sad. Um,
Yeah. And they did like the last episode they did like dance together,
yeah, like there's
which
definitely
is
something
kind of
there.
romantic.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's not him like harassing her or anything, but he definitely
no,
like asks her to be with him like several times, and
yeah,
it takes her a couple times before she like agrees.
yeah. So like it's not like super problematic, but I'm like, okay, like she said no, you took it well, but then you ask her again,
Mm-hmm.
you get interrupted, but then you have to ask her a third time. Like, my guy.
Yeah,
But I guess third time's the charm, sort of, right?
sort of.
Because
Yeah.
now she has to wait for him to do whatever he's gonna do. Um, and then Dan gives the photos of the drugs to his cop friend, who is scared but puts in the search warrant. So cool, cop doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Plans in motion. Drugs are on the move. Um, and then our gang of 20-something-year-olds, or however old they are, steal one of the smuggling trucks and plan to dump the truck in front of Towie's building. And Dan's like, this is a terrible idea. Um, and Yoke, I think at that point, is also like, actually, I think Dan's right. And I'm like, this is, maybe you should have figured this out beforehand, but sure.
Yeah, terrible idea, but
Right.
okay.
And so the new plan is to just leave the truck by the crowd control police. So that's their plan
Yeah.
now. That's what they're gonna do. In the
Yeah,
meantime,
because
Black.
the protests are still going on, so they're like, if we leave it there, like the police can't ignore it. They're gonna be forced to like deal with it, basically. So they're
Yeah.
driving the truck to the protest,
Mm-hmm. And
I
the
guess.
plan, I think, is to get out real quick and like get lost in the crowd so that they don't get stuck with drug charges.
Yeah, which is better than just dumping the drugs on the street. Because as Dan
Yeah.
points out, it's like, well, then everyone's just gonna get free drugs. Like you don't
Yeah.
really want to do that.
Yeah. That's
So,
not gonna help.
mm,
um. So they're doing that, and in the meantime, Black goes back to visit Todd again. And then they fight. But Black gets overwhelmed because Todd has guards.
mm-hmm.
Which Black had like taken out, but I guess they woke up because he didn't kill them, right? And then so the guards tie Black up, and Todd has like a gun to Black and or pointed at Black, but he hesitates because he still doesn't want to shoot his friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a very good villain, right?
No, and he's not really like evil.
No.
He's just like a spoiled rich boy who craves wealth and power, but he's not
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
cartoon character, you know? Like this is still
Yeah.
his friend.
Yeah, and when I say he's not a good villain, I don't mean like I think he's written very well. I love
Mhm.
Todd as a character. It just
Mhm.
in that he's a flawed villain because he isn't a bad person in the end, right? Like
Yeah.
he just wants power, but he doesn't want to kill his friend.
Mhm.
Um and so in all that, Black they have another tussle and Black gets the gun from Todd. Um so
Mhm.
uh turns have tabled.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
And we're back to the gang and the problem, a drug checkpoint got set up because of course it did. Um and they're like, "Oh shit, did we get betrayed?" And Sean's like, "I'm just gonna do a thing," and everyone's like, "What?" And so they just don't stop at the checkpoint and just blow through it.
Mhm.
Um, and
I
then
mean,
they
what are you gonna do at that point? They're just gonna find the drugs if you do stop,
right,
so you
right,
have
yeah,
to.
yeah. There's really no other option because turn
Mm-mm.
around, you're gonna be obvious, and there's
Yeah.
really nowhere to turn around. And if you like bail, they're gonna figure that out too.
Mhm.
So yeah, so they blow through the checkpoint, and then they try to ditch the truck and run, but they're being chased by, is it Towie's people or by the cops? I don't know.
So
Is
they're
it
not
both?
they are not sure.
Okay, so we don't know
What
either.
we've
Yeah,
Yeah, at this point we don't know, but it is Tawi's people.
yeah. And while they're running, Yoke gets shot and like seriously shot this time, so not like a graze or anything.
Mhm.
Um,
Or
so they
is it
run.
Todd's people?
I don't
We'll
know.
figure it out.
Yeah. I don't remember. Somebody's out to get them. There's like three different
I
groups of people that are currently
Yeah.
mad at them. So,
I think it's
um,
Tawi, but there's a slight chance it might be Todd's people.
yeah. I think it's Tawi's.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so they're on the run, and then Gumpa shows up to actually do something for once and picks them up. Because they called him while they were driving, and they're like, "We have a problem. Please come
Mhm.
rescue us."
Yeah.
And then they have to go to the hospital because like Yoka's hurt bad enough that it's not something they can handle themselves to deal with, so he needs to actually go and get medical help. And so they're like, "How are we going to do that? Because the hospital's gonna have to report it, right?" Um, so they go to the hospital and they're dealing with that, and then Dan comes to the hospital with some cops because fucking betrayal. But
That's why you
it's
don't
not
date a cop.
right, and it's not entirely clear what's going on because he looks very upset that he had to betray them. So it's like it's definitely something going on. Um and so he's got them all in like handcuffs or whatever, and like Yoke is like in a wheelchair because he can't walk because he's got a bullet wound that he's been dealing with.
Mhm.
And then it's just kidding. Dan and Black set it up, and they knock the cops out so that they can get the fuck out of the hospital. Dan's like, "This is all I got for you. Take it or leave it."
Mm. Yeah, and this is like the first scene where we see Black and White together with other people who
Yeah.
know about them now. And it's interesting. I like to see how they like shot, like they shoot these types of scenes. So
Hmm.
yeah, very cool. All right, the final episode.
Ooh.
So they escape the police who are in the hospital, but they get outside and then they're caught by Tawi's men. Which is even worse because, police catch you, you go to jail. Tawi's men catch you, you go to the ditch, and then you end up buried.
Yeah.
So, they're all caught except for Black, who's still in the hospital, and they just kind of like cry for a while. Like they have bags over their head, and they're like in the back of the van, and they're just crying because they know that they're just about to die, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very tough scene because it's you can tell it's one of those. It's kind of a reminder for me at that point of how young they are and how
Mm-hmm.
you know like they all talk big about being willing to die for a cause, but now they're truly faced with it. It's like
Yeah.
it hits a little different, right?
Yeah, exactly. And especially poor Yoke, who's, just got out of the hospital for a gunshot wound, and he didn't even get discharged. He, like, literally got stabilized and left. And so
Hmm.
he's like, And his boyfriend, like, kind of betrayed him, but not really.
Yeah.
Now he's gone through a lot.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it is. It's very somber. They've kind of all just accepted their fate at this point. But there ends up being like a photo going around social media of the van. Like someone saw this happened and like reported it where they're like Tawi kidnapped these people like and they sick the protesters on this van.
I love this.
Which yeah, this is definitely something where it's like a little too convenient,
Hmm.
but okay, it's fine. Like I
Yeah.
want to know who it wasn't Black that reported on it, was it?
I see. That's what I'm wondering because I think it came. So I don't think we talked about it, but White this entire time that he was Black had like a Twitter account that he was like
Mm-hmm.
anonymously posting stuff, and that was kind of how they got some stuff out. I think we maybe mentioned it last week,
Yeah.
briefly, but like, because they don't harp on it too much, so that's what I'm wondering if it was Black who put the photo in on that account.
Yeah,
That was my guess.
that's what I was thinking, but I don't think they like confirm exactly.
Yeah, I mean they show it getting posted on Twitter. They show like the original tweet from it, but since
Mm,
it's all in Thai, I don't, and
mm,
it wasn't like the subtitles weren't there to show that that's the same account. I don't know. So it might have
okay.
been that it got proven that that's what it was. Um, but also
Yeah.
I don't think Black got out in time because I thought he
I
got out
don't.
and they were already gone. Unless he
Yeah,
was
that's
standing
kind
in the
of what.
shadows and they didn't show us because we see him out in the open afterwards. So it could be
Yeah,
that he was there and we just didn't see it.
because I feel like
So
he kind of just shows up later, and it's like,
yeah,
how'd you
because
get
he's
out?
yeah, because I mean we see him in the meantime because he when they knock the cops out, he also goes out to stall some of the other cops and so that's he goes and fights
Mm-hmm.
people and that's how he gets out. Um, and that's why he's separate from the other ones when he leaves and Towie's people don't realize there's two of them. So
Yeah. I do think it makes most sense that it was him, but I'm
yeah.
not like 100% sure.
Hmm. In my head, that's who it's been the entire time because nothing else makes
Yeah.
sense.
Exactly.
Um,
It's like so much better than if it was just like some random person somehow managed to see it. But
yeah.
they wouldn't know it was Tawie's men, so it had to have been Black.
Hmm. The only thing that really confuses me, so they set the protesters on the van, right?
Hmm.
Why was the van anywhere near the protest?
Exactly. That's the other thing is like, okay, if they kidnap these people and they're gonna go dispose of them, why are you driving through the protest?
The only thing I
Like,
can think is that they weren't going to just take them to a field. I think they were going to take them to Tawi, is my guess. And the protest
but
was
you,
happening outside of the.
yeah, it just
That's the
doesn't.
only thing I can think.
Yeah, that I
Because
think that's just 100% like a convenience plot point.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they had to wrap this up somehow at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
because Tawi could have met them in the middle of a field and they could have died. Like they did not have to go through the protest,
yeah. Because I,
at all.
I mean, I'll say the plan wasn't for them to get spotted, so the protester would have just thought it was generic black van driving through, right?
Hmm.
Um, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe Tawi has like a secret torture chamber dungeon or something they were gonna take him to.
That'd be crazy. We'd need
Yeah,
a
I
whole season
mean,
two at that point. Season one would end with them just captured.
yeah, that would be crazy. Then somehow
Hmm.
Gumpa is tied
And
in there.
black. Yeah.
Yeah, that's their backstory.
Hmm.
But anyway, yeah, so the protesters, they see this van and they know, they demand that the group is released and they end up like breaking into the car and releasing all of them. So now they're free. And they just kind of like celebrate for a little bit. Like, I guess there's like not much else you can do. Like, what are you going to report them for kidnapping? Like, you know.
Yeah.
Um, And so Eugene agrees to be with Gam. And like this scene I find weird because she is going through memories of her and Black and then memory comparing them to like memories of her and Gam. And because of this she chooses Gam. But like half the memories that we see of her and Black is actually just white. So I'm like, I don't
She
know
doesn't
about
know
that
that though.
one. No, she doesn't
Yeah.
know. But like from our standpoint, it's like, ugh, not really an
Yeah.
informed decision.
Yeah. White has some speech at some point during all this where he's like, yeah, I think Black also wanted to break up with Eugene for her own safety, type of a thing.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, but dating Gam isn't going to help that.
Yeah, because at this point she recognizes that she knows that Black and White are twins, but still, when she goes back to her
Yeah.
memories of being with
Yeah.
him, it's like all memories of White. Because obviously, it's all memories like from the show,
Yeah.
but it's kind of funny to like to compare the two because it's like, well, okay, memories with Gam and then memories with not Black is what we're
Yeah.
comparing.
Yeah.
But I guess they end up together, so it's okay.
Yeah. I will say, I think Eugene and Black was kind of toxic anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really rooting for them
No.
because, like, early on, the first time White runs into Eugene, um, she's like, "What did I do to make you mad this time?" Was one of the things she
Mm-hmm.
says, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a red flag because it's one of those of like, yeah, you haven't talked to me in days and or in a long time, and are you still mad at me? And I'm
Mhm.
like, ooh, okay. If that's the type of guy he is, yeah, they don't need a date.
Yeah, they seem very on again, off again.
Yeah, but if he's also
Yeah.
giving her the silent treatment because he's mad at her, that's a red flag to me.
Yeah, like you don't want to keep pining after this guy who is
No.
going to keep jerking you back and
Yeah.
forth like this. So I
Go with
agree.
Gam.
I think she's better with Gam.
Yeah.
And but Black is still like MIA. We don't know where he is. So
Mhm.
they're like White's kind of worried about him, and like White tells Sean about their little twin connection thing. And like he's like, I know Black would be if he was dead because I would probably be dead too.
Yeah.
But then Black reappears and talks to White, and he, oh yeah, because he goes to Todd's house. How long
But
is
yeah,
he at freaking? No, this is earlier in the day before the hospital, I
yeah.
believe. Um, and he's telling about how it went with Todd, and he's like, listen, I couldn't kill Todd, like I couldn't pull the trigger, but I did put him in a coma in the hospital, so
He looks
I
rough.
yes, it's like good payback. I mean, I guess it's literally an eye for an eye.
Yeah. Um
So I
I
guess
I
can't
do
say Todd didn't deserve that.
yeah, I do like the dynamic that they can't kill each other
Mhm.
because Todd couldn't do it, but Black couldn't do it either. Like Black's this
Mhm.
big tough, I'm willing to die for the cause. I clearly am willing to kill for the cause,
Mhm.
but Todd's still a friend in the end. And
Mhm.
Todd is a bad person, but isn't the worst person, right? Like,
Mhm.
you know. So I'm gonna put him in the hospital for a really long time, maybe permanently. Like Todd looked pretty friggin' rough, um, and that'll be a problem for another day if he does wake up.
Mhm. At least solves the problem for like a little bit. You can have
Yeah,
a couple Todd-free weeks.
yeah.
And this is like fast forward a little bit. Yoke's painting of Dan, naked Dan, is hanging up in a museum, and like Dan goes to look at it and they run into each other, and Yoke does just punch him.
It's
But
fair.
then yeah, very fair. But then he helps him up and they hug, which is like, yeah, I get it. Like you kind of betrayed me, but then also you like double backed on that and like helped us
Yeah,
at the end. But that's fucked up. Like I can't believe you made me go through that.
yeah. Because I mean, in the end, it wasn't even really a betrayal, right? Like it was one of those.
Mhm.
The cops were gonna come, so it might as well
Mhm.
as be Dan there because then Dan can actually help get them out of the situation. It's just he can't
Yeah.
just outright be like, "Hey, I'm not actually gonna do this."
Yeah, exactly.
So, but there's
Yeah.
still a lot, a lot of damage there.
Yes. So they end up, they seem like in an okay place, and then Sean and White, they also kiss, and they are also happy and
Yay!
happily ever after. The end.
It's such a good show.
Such a good show. I could not believe how much I loved it rewatching it, because like the first time I watched it, I think I gave it like 8 stars out of 10, and then I went back
Oh,
and I was like, oh, this is a 10-star show. Like,
yeah,
what was I
100%.
thinking?
I don't remember what I gave it. I bet it was a 10.
Hmm.
I did not rate it, but it's a 10 for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I'll go ahead and just rate that.
Yeah. Dare I say it was a better even as a rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
it's interesting as a rewatch. Knowing
Yeah.
like things start to make sense. Like Gumpa early on introducing himself to White.
Mhm.
Where it was one of those like the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, it's um him being like, yeah, hey, don't forget, I'm the one who owns this, and I'm our leader, and whatever, yada yada yada. And it's like, no, that's not what that was.
Yeah. It is fun to like, yeah, when you rewatch it and you pick up the little like hints and foreshadowing and stuff that you completely
Hmm.
missed the first time.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Definitely a great show. Definitely, I'd say required watching for BL fans.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Required watching list.
and then like, there's so many scenes, like the scenes under the parachute, right? Is such an iconic scene because like this was
Mm-hmm.
well before like gay marriage was legalized in Thailand too.
Mm-hmm.
So like a scene like that, I don't think would hit the same way it does now. Or I mean, now it wouldn't the way it did back then, like
Like it.
culturally.
Yeah. The political message behind it and
Yeah, it's
like the bravery it takes, I guess, for like a show to make kind of like as many like political statements as the show did,
yeah,
especially, I think is quite rare. These
yeah,
like I just can't. I don't really can't really think of any other BLs that are this like politically involved. I
yeah.
guess.
I'm kind of surprised it was GMMTV to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna give them credit. And gives who's the writer for this one? Director?
Uh, Nunchi, I think. I don't know how to say her name. I think it's her.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, Nucci.
Nucci, yeah,
All credit to Nucci.
yeah. Nucci's also who's doing Burnout Syndrome, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
So, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
As the screenwriter and the director for that one as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, I wonder if I feel like I've heard maybe Shine the series is maybe political too, but I
yeah.
haven't watched that one, so maybe that's another one that is
Mm-hmm.
political as well. But yeah, since I haven't seen it, this one is definitely the most like involved in terms of wealth and power and like marriage equality and
Mm-hmm.
but mostly like wealth and power and socioeconomic status and
Mm-hmm.
disability rights too and stuff. So
Yeah, it kind of
touches
covers
on.
the whole spectrum. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, so well, we finally wrapped it. 2 episodes later. Um, yeah, let us know what you guys thought of the show. And if you haven't watched it, I hope you watched it before you listen to this.
Yeah. We spoiled all of it.
Yeah, it's definitely still worth watching though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with that being said, unless you have any other thoughts, we can wrap it, I guess.
I don't think so.
Yep. So, if you want some BL in the Air merch, we have our shop at blintheair-shop.fourthwall.com. Link is in the link tree. And if you want to find us on social media, Instagram and TikTok are bl.in.the.air. Twitter is just BL in the air. Discord, the link is in the in the link tree.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right? Um,
Yeah.
you can find us on video on Spotify and YouTube, or you can listen to us wherever you currently are. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.